my fingertips as though it's any other day. I notice the earth holding its breath like a child underwater for the first time. Eyes closed tight, heart thumping, searching through half light. Come to my senses and I close all tabs. I find myself at the stove pouring water into the kettle. My thoughts race ahead to dinner and I forget that everything is shut. I open the pantry doors, cans stacked high into columns, and I start reading labels. Magnesium, vitamin B12. This is Armageddon. Fake news, my son yells. I stop counting out loud. I have the numbers in my head and I look out to the quiet of our neighbourhood. Simon Street is a wasteland. And we carry on as though it's just any other day. Yes, that was Meredith from Tāmaki, Makaurau. We've all had that experience of our lockdowns. This one is a birthday poem. You are a tiny flutter, a marigold on the water flung out calling the dead. You are the tui across four winds, an armour of feather, bone and light, soaring over mountains, climbing the day. You are the core spilling seeds, deepest blue head first into soul. You are blood woven into silk, piecing night to sun. You are a child at sea, anchored on your mother's lips. You are the coral holding the shore, fingers that caress Tāmaki River, young girl breaking into woman on the Waitemata. You are Sina, sung from the bones of ancestors, and you are always swimming toward the sun. Meredith. I wrote that for my daughter, Sina Meredith, who you will hear from shortly, a phenomenal poet. And that was for a birthday a couple of years ago. And as I say, poems they're very cheap, aren't they, darling? They're a cheap birthday present. They do not harm, low carbon footprint. Big shout out to, we're going to hear from Philip Say, but later the curator, and all these incredible artists. It's such a privilege to be part of this. Thank you so much for that. We all have our story about how we got named, and this is mine. Young lovers charge across the moana, landing in the back row of the cinema, lose their minds at the sight of Kim Novak, the Hollywood version of me, the idea of me. Lose their minds at the sight of Kim Novak. A small girl climbs to the window, watches the street below disappear. A taniwha shaking off the morning sun, racing the Tāmaki river. I am mouthing foreign words the moment the world dares my young parents. Kim is a great name for a daughter. The idea growing as the credits roll, stretching out and turning a my cocoon. Rita and John walking back into the light of downtown Queen Street. You're probably all way too young. I was going to say you're probably all way too young to remember Kim Novak from the 50s and the 60s. She was a blonde, bombshell Hollywood star, and I was named after her. And of course, we're both blonde, so you can see why my parents, John and Rita, named me after her. And you probably remember her from Psycho. She was in Psycho. She was a brunette then. So yeah, so me and Kim. I am the writer in my family, or as Paul reminds me, I am one of the writers in my family, despite my chicken scrawl. I carry stories from before my time, one swallowed whole, carried deep in the gut. They explode like fireworks when the sun falls into the moana. A trail behind my shadow, the shuka bearing the weight of each day. We grab coffee from across the road, a well for these modern times, and very expensive. I reach home as the moon climbs and my son looks up from his screen. I'm waiting for orders to kill. It's just a game, he reassures me. My face is the last thing you see, and yours becomes a lighthouse beaming out from my chest, warning everyone away. I am the writer picking through your scraps, storing them in my back pocket. I feel the weight of them and I use them to paper the walls of this new house. The blood of my family matches the evening dusk. before we ask up Courtney, Sina, Meredith, a very talented daughter, and then we're going to hear from the wonderful curator, Philip Say. When we got married, I said to my husband, I don't want any photos. I don't want any of those poses where you're behind me and your arms around, clasped looking like some statues. We are not doing that. We are not leaving the venue to go somewhere and pose. That is not happening. Because I paid for everything, he just had to agree.
That's true.
Okay, he paid for everything afterwards, but that doesn't really count. And of course, when you say no, when you push against the universe and you try and impose yourself, you know exactly what happens. 3 of Kingsley's friends, who were incredible photographers, offered up their services as a wedding present. I had to look at myself from every angle. You know, society just pushes us women down and tries to make us disappear, so that when we look at ourselves, we're just like, oh my God, I look terrible. Look at me. My bum looks too big. They were great photos, I had to concede, but nothing was posed. Sometimes the universe gives you exactly what you need. Thank you so much. We are Kingsley Spargo and I am Kim Meredith. Thank you, Philip.